I am going to. I got a book at the library, so I'm going to write something out of this book. It's called The Poetry Remedy: Prescriptions for the Heart, Mind, and Soul by William C. Hart, and he has written, looks like that. Love my Weatherford Library, Weatherford Public Library, and it's a little part of a piece that he wrote called Loneliness. And anyway, I'll just launch right into it. Put this up here, and let's get fixed here for a second. Okay, like that. Turned the camera off today so that maybe you wouldn't get seasick as we rode up to the top. So, anyway, really, what he talks about mostly, this little portion of it, is just social media. And it says loneliness is among the most common conditions of the modern age. So, instead of reading it all, I will let it out slowly as I write it. Okay, so it goes like this. Alone. And we loneliness. That is a lovely loneliness. It's not boxy, that's for sure. That's what I always say. I say every morning, I say, oh, it's looking boxy. Well, that's not quite boxy. Almost ran her right off the page there. Loneliness is among the most common conditions having to get smaller here because if I don't, I will not make it to the end of this page with everything I'm trying to write. Loneliness is the most common conditions of the modern age, he says. Of the modern age. And Okay, so it says, yeah, most common conditions of the modern age, much exacerbated, much. We have to realize that it is much exacerbated. Egg. Exacerbated. Just like that, we put that in there, and then much exacerbated by the constant. It's constant, y'all. Just constant. By the. It's so true. The constant. Welcome, everybody, on this Monday morning. The constant. Oh my! I should have. It's always the big dilemma. So I get to the end of a line, and then I don't leave myself enough space for the next would. So I'm going to put a hyphen. So by the constant. And here we go. Just because I can. Presence. Like that. Presence. Is that right? Oh, it looks so weird to me when it's split up like that. Almost I'm gonna misspell it. Oh, a little sip of Java from the blue cup. Well, I don't know what you guys have going on this morning, but I hope it's something good. Of social media. You know, let's see here. Social media feeds. So by the so it says it's is among the most common conditions of the modern age, much exacerbated by the constant presence of social media feeds filled with jokes. Media feeds I may be getting ahead of what I'm writing as I speak, but jokes you don't get. We're all kind of quick to poo-poo social media. I mean, it kind of is. We blame it on things, and I mean, so anyway. But I'll this will get to the point, I think. But, just my device itself, this device that I'm using as my camera and doing this with, it is such an outlet for me. As my family, my daughter is currently in Colorado, and my son's busy with his job. He's local, but we're able to be in touch. And it's so different than when, I don't know, when I 35 years ago or whatever, being away from my family, and then even like, but I mean, to make a long distance phone call, you really had to kind of plan that stuff out. And I talk to my daughter every day, and I can do it as long as I want to. And then I've got friends who, all over the country, literally, and it's provided a way to maintain and just try kind of stay close to those people. So that's a blessing, and I know that that's not exactly social media, but we're doing it right now. Constant presence of social media feeds filled with jokes you don't get, parties you haven't been invited to. I appreciate you guys who just pop in for a little bit. I mean, I can kind of go along, and could be argued that this is strictly for bedtime, not for waking up in the morning. Nonetheless, I am grateful for you for just popping in for a little bit, and those of you who choose to subscribe, that is a wonderful thing. It just kind of makes this easier as it goes on. And it's one of my favorite things to do, though, is writing, and I'm talking too much. I talk too much. Media feeds filled with jokes you don't get, parties you haven't been invited to. You haven't been in friends. If this is let's see, in friends you don't have. One of the talking about in friends you don't have. Just everything looks greener on the other side. What I'm really having to figure out, learn. You got to know. You got to know. I'm just jumping around, but here in my personal life locally, choosing to do something with people or choosing not to. Sometimes that's choosing not to do something. You gotta protect your space or your time, I guess. But I find myself, I have actually in my mind complained about being lonely, and then somebody will ask me to do something and I don't do it, you know? And I know that it's not always a perfect situation, you know? And it can feel cumbersome to kind of get yourself ready. And maybe, I don't know. We all deal, it's all in our minds in different ways, but usually I, I feel so much better when I go ahead and go. Um, Again, there are times when it's going to be of your best interest. Sometimes we haven't gotten enough sleep, and you got to protect that stuff. But I have people, I mean, there are people that they have friends all around them all the time. One of the things that's been the hardest thing about my wife passing was that she was, Kathy was she knew she didn't meet a stranger. And so she, that caused people to be around us all the time, be around our house. And there were times, I would complain a little bit, but I loved that. I didn't realize how much I loved it, you know. But you have people. Let's see, parties you haven't been invited to. There are people in our lives now, and I realize that there are some of you that you feel like you don't have a friend. And we go through that on our different levels. And I think that's what I'm trying to say is when I get an invitation, sometimes I just have to just go. I have to pick myself up and go and do it. And I because I miss a blessing if I don't. And I had dinner with a friend last night and got to play some music, and I got the text kind of late. And I'll admit, I hem-hawed when I saw the text. I thought, do I want to do this? Okay, I've got to keep writing here. But I ended up doing it, and it was just a wonderful night. Haven't been invited, and friends you don't have. Even, I'm sorry guys, folks, I've rambled. Even if you've been with a different friend. Hey, Abdul, not thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for your comment. Thank you for being here. I can butcher names sometimes, so I apologize. But you- all right, you don't. Even if you've been with a different friend, even if you've been with a different bring that all the way across because I want to. Okay, even if you've been with a different friend, every night for a week. I'm gonna have to go over there to that Hobby Lobby. No, or is this Michael's? I think it's Hobby Lobby. Get another one of these pens. A different friend every night for a week. Every night. Good morning. Good morning, Karen. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You should put this on the back of a t-shirt. Well, thank you. Yeah, then that would be, well, thank you for that. Let's see, a different friend every night. So I'm talking about 10 different things, and then I get things out of context. But I'm just every night for a week. Let me write that. So again, this is a little part of a little thing that William Seahart wrote out of a book called The Poetry Remedy, Prescriptions for the Heart, Mind, and Soul. And this whole social media thing, it's talking about that loneliness is among the most common conditions of the modern age, much exacerbated by the constant presence of social media feeds filled with jokes you don't get, parties you haven't been invited to, and friends you don't have, even if you've been with a different friend every night for a week. So, I came home last night, great time with my friends. Something that happened just with us. And if I got on Facebook or something and combing through and looking at what everybody else is doing and wishing for that instead of just looking at how blessed I am. I mean, and so we've got to do that, I mean, pull back from it and look at what you have in your life. A different friend every night for a week. And then I'll write this last part. He says, the feed, I don't know what you're looking at, what we're looking at, whether it's, I don't want to knock all these people, I'm on all of them, but I don't like Instagram and Snapchat. I am not my kids do that, and I'm trying to be hip. See, look at me, I'm trying to be hip. Why do I have to be hip? I don't. And neither do you. Okay. So, I'll write this last line. for a week. The feed, let's see, I want to just use a smaller, the feed, well, can reduce you we don't want to be reduced. Feed can reduce you. The feed can reduce you to, let's see what I want to do, all the way across. I like to go, I don't know. Oh, okay. I can't see that because all of your nice comments. I love your comments. Let's see. Oh, a different friend every night for a week. The feed can reduce you to rubble. Rubble. That calls, the word rubble calls for a big, thick Crayola marker. The feed can reduce you to rubble. The moment the moment oh, Karen, y'all are having coffee. Thank you for that. I'm happy to know y'all are here and sitting and enjoying your morning. I love that. The moment it gets you. I'm going to finish this thing out. Okay. You alone. And then I'll draw the E all the way over like that. And alone again. Okay. So, I know many of you have popped in and popped out, and that's okay. That is quite okay. Now, this is The Poetry Remedy by William C. Hart. Forgive me, Mr. C. Hart, if I'm mispronouncing your name. You know, you don't have to stay for the dots. You don't have to stay at all. I appreciate you being here. So loneliness, he says, is among the most common conditions of the modern age. Why is that? Is that true? Much exacerbated constant, and it is constant. I mean, the social media, I mean, it's not just our phones. Let's just go to I went over to I won't give the name of the restaurant, but every place it's not, it's just media itself, but every turn of my head, there was a television set, and there were like music videos and all kinds of things, and I was just having trouble like just focusing, you know. By the time I finished, I don't know, it was just kind of exhausting. Somebody's emptying a dumpster over there. That's what that noise is. Yeah. Okay, gonna try to get a little bit done today. But aren't we all? You know. But meantime, I'm going to try to get a little exercise and ride more quickly on my bicycle than I usually do. Try to get where I get my heart rate up a little, hopefully. Then I end up stopping in at the Full Cup, probably for a moment, to see those folks over there. And then I'll get back home, and it's worky. That's stupid. No. Oops. I keep hitting my easel of sorts with my hat. So what's the deal? Does this guy just go on all day with his dots? Yeah. Oh, I don't even know if I finished. Did I finish? So, so y'all can you can tell me, man, you're having an old man moment or something. But anyway, so yeah, parties you haven't been invited to, and friends you don't have. Even if you've been with a friend every night for a week, this feed, it says. Yeah, I got sidetracked by the media at the restaurant I was telling you about. But this feed can reduce you to rubble. You know, you've had a great time with your friends, and then you start, what do they call it? What do we do on our phones? We call it something. You know what I'm talking about. And then we think, oh, I should be over there. But you're not over there, you're over here. And if you could be over there, then you would not be over here. Okay, I've got looking for my egg. I have to have this egg to put a little bit of blue. I'm about done, you guys. I'm going to finish this up and be on my way. Yes. looks like a few of you have just kind of hung out, and I mean, what? How nice of you. How nice of you. Okay. I always I put the color on there more for myself because it's so satisfying. It is so satisfying to rub. You just rub it a little bit. Hey, Lomax. Lomax is the dog. He's okay. So there we have it. I won't read it again because I've read it at least 3 or 4 times, I think. But the bottom line is, what is the bottom line? Surfing. Is that what do you call it? Surfing the internet and social media. A lot of people would say stay away, but I'm not going to do that because that's kind of what we're doing right now. But you know, protect your the good things that are going on in your life and feel good about it. I mean, really, I'm blessed beyond anything I would have ever imagined, and grateful for all my friends, and they're from all across the country, and really, this allows me to be in touch with many of them. So I'm rambling myself down into a hole here, and so I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful day. I don't know, Karen and Melissa, if y'all are still on. I appreciate you once again, and y'all have a good time out there. I think in DC. And I'll catch you down the line. Bye-bye, everybody.